Welcome back, everyone, to the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network as we get ready for game number 2 of today's doubleheader, the game that will decide who is the 2023 North Star Athletic Association baseball champion. Both the Bellevue University Bruins and the Dakota State University Trojans are 24-3 in conference play. This one will decide who is the top seed for the conference tournament next week. Overall, the Trojans 34-15. The Bellevue Bruins 40-8. So congratulations to both squads for making it to this point in the season and a one-game championship 7-inning contest awaits before you. Here are the starting lineups for game number 2 for the Dakota State Trojans. Leading it off, the catcher, Ryan McDaniel. Batting second and playing center field, Walker Holtgren. Batting third, the left fielder, Jeremy Green. The cleanup hitter is the right fielder, Mason Macaluso. Batting fifth and playing first base will be Jace Pribble. Batting sixth, the shortstop, Chris Burke. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Cade Wenninger. Batting eighth and playing third base, Dawson Portner. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Hakeem Yateem. So pretty much the same lineup that we saw in game number 1 for the Dakota State Trojans. Bellevue winning that game by a score of 5-2. On the mound in game number 2, the fourth game of this set, right-hander Grant Svikulis. On the season, Svikulis, and where did his numbers go? 6-1, 176 earned run average. I think he's the guy that got cut off in the crease of my printer. Yes, he is, so I'll have to dig out an old one. Thank you. 7-1, 176 ERA. For the Bellevue Bruins, leading it off, Kanta Kobayashi and playing center field. Drew Staley, the second baseman, batting second. Logan Grant batting third, the designated hitter. Nick Grade, the third baseman, the cleanup hitter. Batting fifth, right fielder Anthony Lind. Batting sixth and playing first base, Mathieu Sirois. Batting seventh and playing left field, Jake Lacey. Batting eighth, Trav Richardson, the catcher. And batting ninth, shortstop, C.J. Townsend. On the mound for the Bruins will be Easton Britton, trying to bring that championship home to the Bellevue Bruin trophy case one more time. On the season, Easton Britton, this is his 14th appearance, 12th start on the year, a 5-win, 1-loss record. In 55 innings on the year, Easton has allowed 57 hits, 31 earned runs, 28 walks, and 50 strikeouts, a 5.07 earned run average for right-hander Easton Britton. Same defense that we saw in game number 1 for the Bruins. Mathieu Sirois at first, Drew Staley at second, C.J. Townsend at shortstop, and Nick Grade at third. Across the outfield, Jake Lacey in left, Kanta Kobayashi in center, Anthony Lind in right field. Again behind the plate in game number 2 will be Trav Richardson. And on the mound, Easton Britton as we get ready for game number 2. The winner is the league champion and the number 1 seed in next week's tournament, which will begin in Dickinson, North Dakota. All right, let's get ready for this one. Here we go, leading it off for the Trojans of Dakota State University, the catcher, Ryan McDaniel. McDaniel coming into today's action, 3-12 on the year. First pitch from Easton Britton, low, ball 1. McDaniel had 2 hits in the opener today. Also got credit for one of the 2 RBIs for Dakota State. Next pitch from Britton, that's a called strike, 1-1 the count. Braxton Arndt behind home plate. Tim Arndt, the umpire at first. Called strike 2. So Britton working ahead in the count on the leadoff guy, trying to keep him off base. McDaniel got game number 1 started with a base hit. Center field, this time it'll be caught by Kanta Kobayashi, having to put that glove up there to deflect from the sunshine. Kanta makes the play for the first out of the inning. Sun field right now will be center field. As the game goes on, it'll be moving over to the right side. So everybody on that right side of the field, right field, center field, second baseman, first baseman, I think all of them have on their sunglasses. As the next batter for the Trojans, center fielder Walker Holtgren fouled back to the net, back out onto the field of play. Holtgren, the leading hitter on the year at .410 for the Trojans, just under 500 on-base percentage and a .688 slugging percentage, leading his team in all three of those categories. A 1-for-4 game number 1 today for Holtgren. That one gets through all the way to the backstop. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Thanks again for joining us on the Bellevue Bruin Sports Network. Mick Krupski alongside Bill Mullins from Bellevue Sports Information Department. Simon Falcon, the PA announcer. Bellevue baseball player Alec Ackerman running the scoreboard down the other end of the bench. Out for the season with an injury. It's been an injury-filled season for Bellevue. Several players out for the year. Several have been hampered by injuries, as we've talked about during the course of the season. Britton heading the count, 1-2. Looks in, gets his signal from Trad Richardson. Shoots for the outside corner and gets it for the called strike 3. First strikeout of the game for Easton Britton. As the first 2 men retired, next up, left fielder Jeremy Green. Britton averages about 8 strikeouts per 9-inning game, so just a little bit less than 1 per inning on average. As the wind continues to blow, we started today's doubleheader with some very gentle winds, but as the day has gone on, the wind has increased. We expect gusts up into the 30-plus miles per hour.
I think we got one.
Got one coming through right now, as you can see on your screen. The net that protects the front windows of the press box is jiggling back and forth. Green fouls the next pitch out of play, right side, 0-2. 5 runs on 13 hits, 1 error for Bellevue in game number 1. 2 runs on 7 hits, 1 error for Dakota State. Couldn't have planned it any better if you were a scheduler for the North Star Athletic Association. The top 2 teams in the league with identical records coming into today's contest to determine who's going to win the regular season title. Bellevue won last year with a 25-2 conference record as Green fouls another one out of play. And as we did in game number 1, we invite you to be part of game number 2 if you'd like to send along a text message to me. My number's still the same, 402-515-7654. Britton will step off on the disengagement. Wind blowing to the right field corner. Out of the west-northwest. Temperature in the mid-60s right now, so a comfortable but windy day. Green fouls that one off his front foot, then makes the play and tosses it back to Easton Britton. Game number 1 of this 4-game set went to 15 innings. Dakota State prevailed 9-6. Bellevue won yesterday's nightcap 6-4, thank you, and then 5-2 the score in the first game today. So 2 wins to 1 for the Bellevue Bruins. Again, a foul ball out of play. Count remains at 1-2. Green hitting .404 coming into today's action. Reaches out, hits that one to right field. Anthony Lind charging hard on the run. At the knees, the grab by Anthony Lind. And the side is retired in order in the top of the first inning. 3 up, 3 down after a half. The Trojans nothing, and the Bruins coming to bat. Starting pitcher for the Trojans of Dakota State is Grant Spiculus. 6-1 his record, a 1.76 earned run average. He's thrown 61 1/3 innings. He has 66 strikeouts against 26 walks, 2 complete games, 44 hits allowed on the season. So better than a strikeout per inning and a little less than a hit per inning is the body of work this year for Grant Spiculus. He'll head out to the mound. That'll give us a chance to set the defense for Dakota State as well. Across the infield, Jace Pribble at first, Hakeem Yatim at second. The shortstop is Chris Burke, and Dawson Portner, the third baseman, Across the outfield, Jeremy Green in left, Walker Holtgren in center, and the right fielder Mason Macaluso. Behind the plate once again, Ryan McDaniel. He's caught all 4 games of this series, whole bunch of innings. And on the mound, Grant Sviculis.
Pitching for Dakota State. That's like half of what their record of 6-1.
On the year coming into today's game, the Bellevue Bruins have been averaging 9.8 runs per game. Dakota State 6.9. Bellevue leads the conference in most of the offensive categories. Dakota State leads in most of the pitching categories.
Do have updated Bellevue stats if you want them. Offensively.
All right, here we go with the bottom of the first inning. Kanta Kobayashi, the leadoff hitter for the Bruins. For the past 2 years, will try to get things started. Kanta coming in, hitting .403 on the season. As we get ready, here's the first pitch, low and away from Grant Sviculis.
Ball one.
Hey, plus they got a nice restaurant out there.
Sviculis from Melbourne, Australia. Another international player in action today. Gets the call on the knees, 1-1. Welcome to John Stella Field at Brown Park. John Stella just coming on in to enjoy the ball game. Hi, John.
Hey, they get good food here at the Bellevue restaurant.
You betcha. Join in. Chopped on the ground first base, but it'll be a foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Kobayashi. Kanta leads the teams in at-bats, runs 61, hits 73, and 14 doubles as well. That's prior to the first game today. Kanta had a couple of hits. Stays alive following that one out of play. 2 for 4 in game number 1. A couple of singles and a run scored, 2 runs scored for Kanta, doing what a leadoff guy should do. Sviculis comes set at the belt. Line hard to second base. Your team on the 2-hop. His throw to first base pulls Pribble off the bag, and he couldn't get back in time. Jace protesting the call to the base umpire, Tim Arndt. And that'll bring Darian Hardy out of the dugout.
E4 if it stands.
Let's see if the umpires will confer. Sometimes the home plate umpire has a little bit better look down the line to see if the foot got out of the base. But right now, Tim Arndt making the long walk to go over to talk to Darian Hardy. And he's simply going to say, please ask the base umpire, Braxton Arndt, his son, if he saw a little bit angle, get the little bit better angle, get that foot back onto the base. Pribble was adamant he got back, and the call will stand. So it'll be an E4 on the throw from Hakeem Yatim. Didn't look like he had a real firm grip on the baseball on the throw over to first base. Well, the next batter for the Bruins, second baseman Drew Staley. Coach Darian Harry will now work his way back to the dugout as we will continue play in the bottom of the first inning. Sviculis, a big guy on the mound. Staley puts down the bunt up the third base side. Portner, the third baseman, makes the play. And on the sacrifice, Kanta Kobayashi moves to second. Nicely executed by Drew Staley. 5-3 on the play. Bruins bunting game has been very good today. Bellevue scoring its first 2 runs of the game on safety squeezes with the bunt game. A couple of other hits as well via the bunt game. 3-hole hitter for the Bruins, designated hitter Logan Grant.
Next weekend they'll have to win the conference tournament to get in.
Logan had 1 hit in game number 1, coming into the series, hitting .375. Getting the day off behind the plate so far. That was lined into left field. Jeremy Green on the run. It's over his head. 1 hop to the fence. Here comes Kobayashi rounding third. The throw will go to second base. And it's an RBI double by Logan Grant to get things started for the Bruins in the bottom of the first inning. So Kobayashi reached on the air, was advanced on the sacrifice, and then driven home by Logan Grant. For Logan, now 55 runs batted in on the year, and that is his 8th double. So the cleanup hitter for the Bruins, third baseman Nick Grade. Grade coming in, hitting .350 on the year.
Yeah, they won the first one. We won game 2 yesterday. We won game 1 today. So winner of this one gets the 1 seed.
So Spiculus with a 1.60 earned run, 1.76 ERA has given up an earned run, an unearned run so far in the first inning.
Coach said they got out at like 9 something actually, so pretty decent time. Considering how late.
1-0 the count on Nick Grade. Swing and a miss on a fastball from Spiculus.
I did check with Dave. He said hold.
6'4" senior from Melbourne, Australia, as we mentioned earlier. Most of the pitchers that we've seen this weekend from Dakota State are 6'3", 6'4", variety-sized guys. Fouled out of play, first base side. The wind will keep it pushed out of play.
There were a couple.
You guys run into Mosser? What's Jerry Mosser?
Oh, we haven't seen him this weekend.
I was talking to him out there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he hasn't made his way up here. 1-2.
Grade back in with a 1-2 count.
Great coach. It's Neil Mosser. Basketball coach.
Foul out of play once again, right side, up toward W Street on the south side of the field.
Tech High.
His baseball field has been around for over a century. 19 teens is when baseball was first played here. Used to be a farm, Farmer Brown, that was purchased from the city of Omaha. Turned into a playground up on top of the hill and a baseball field down below. That's where we are. Again, a foul ball out of play. So the battle between Spiculus and Grade continues for at least another pitch.
Bellevue University. And then Jerry was the athletic director, and he fired him.
There was
This field, long time for high school and grade school and college level. Semi-pro ball as well.
said Malley was like the best team he's ever seen.
The 2010.
Grade tries to check his swing. Home plate umpire says, nope, you went around. And the strikeout is the second out of the inning. First strikeout for pitcher Grant Spiculus.
Gibson made it over to our first ever home game. It was pretty cool seeing him.
Right fielder Anthony Lynn trying to keep the inning alive. Drive home the runner in scoring position. That's Logan Grant, who got the RBI double to put the Bruins on the board. Bellevue scored in the first inning of game number 1 today as well, and never trailed,
I heard that.
winning the game by a score of 5-2.
And they end up signing with the Cardinals.
First pitch fastball called strike 1 to Lind.
I was a pitcher also in high school. And then I went to Omaha. It was Omaha University.
Yeah. Hung out there.
Coming to you from John Stella Field at Brown Park in Omaha, Nebraska. About a 10-minute drive from the Bellevue University campus just down the road.
Otani.
Lynn shows bunt, pulls it back in.
Then signed with the Giants, right?
Yeah.
How long did you stick around with them?
No, I was just in the low minors.
Okay.
Got $300 a month paid, and then $3 a day meal money.
Spiculus works exclusively from the stretch, comes set below the belt,
58.
and delivers. Lynn fouls it against the front netting, protecting the first base dugout.
Steak for $1.50.
1-2 the count on Anthony. A nice running catch by Anthony to
30 cents a bottle.
end the top of the first inning.
That's a long time.
The wind will be a factor in today's game. You can see it blowing on the flagpole straightaway center field. Anything hit up in the air could be an adventure. We've got gusts into the upper 30 miles per hour. Anthony again lines that one hard off the front protective netting.
Yeah, and they were looking for a coach at South, and they knew I wasn't doing anything. And I coach like CYO ball. Are you guys familiar with that? The church league.
Oh, okay.
Catholic Youth Organization.
I think he knows that. I coached there about 3-4 years.
Spiculus again comes to the set. He delivers a pitch. That one gets away from the catcher, McDaniel, on the wild pitch. Logan Grant will advance to third. John Stella with us in the press box today, the namesake of the field, longtime baseball player, coach, Omaha University, where he played his college ball. Omaha South High School for high school ball. Member of the San Francisco Giants minor league organization in the old Nebraska League.
Mickey, tell him I had to beat out Willie Mays if I had to play center field.
I've used that story before, John, yeah. John said a little competition from a guy named Willie Mays back in the day, so.
He had an all right career.
Yeah. John, a longtime coach at Omaha South High School, this high school squad and the Legion program. Done a lot of work over the years to make this a great playing facility. Another pitch in the dirt, blocked up by McDaniel this time. Full count on Anthony Lynn, trying to score another Bellevue Bruin in this bottom of the first inning. Logan Grant getting his lead in foul territory up the third base side. And the called strike three just on the inside black. Another charitable strike zone as we saw in game number one. Hitters have to adjust to that. The Bellevue Bruins do pick up one run on one hit. There was one error and one man left on base. A lot of ones in that first inning. After one complete, the Bellevue Bruins won. The Dakota State Trojans nothing in this battle to determine who wins the 2023 North Star Athletic Association Baseball Championship. All right, we've got some Game 2 hubba-hubbas from the Sakamotos saying, "Go Bruins." Thanks again for joining us today. Cade got a base hit in game number one. Hey, Mick, Zach Deal here, sending a good luck message for the fellas as they battle to win the league championship. Go Bruins. Hey, Zach, yeah, we remember you. Remember the squad last year.
Swung by last weekend for Senior Day.
Oh, he was here for Senior Day. I didn't get a chance to say hello, but a lot of the Bellevue players back. We've got a lot of fans in the stands here today, parents and alum. So, Zach, hope you're doing well. Another guy with a good glove on the infield for the Bruins.
One of the best I've seen.
Home, baby, let's go Bruins. Finish this. Go Seegers. We're proud of you, and thanks for your commentary. You paint a great picture. It's awesome to be able to text in to you. Well, thanks for that compliment, and it's fun for me, too. I mean, I love to hear where people are listening in, and your commentary adds to our broadcast, so we do it for everybody listening in that's connected to the Bellevue and also the Dakota State baseball programs. First pitch fouled back by Mason Macaluso, the right fielder. Macaluso, the power guy in the Dakota State lineup. He leads the teams in runs batted in and home runs. Right back through the legs of Easton Britton. And that's the first hit of the game for Dakota State off the bat of Mason Macaluso, the cleanup hitter. Next up, first baseman Jace Pribble.
Next to plate, first baseman Jace Pribble.
Pribble 294 average coming into today's action. He was 1 for 4 in game number one. As Easton Britton working from the stretch with a runner at first, fouled back, comebacker right to catcher Trad Richardson.
Give fans way too much credit. They're not smart enough.
Field, turf field, 325 down the lines, about 380 to straightaway center field. Nice dark green hitting background that was just completed this year. That's the latest addition to the field. Breaking ball hit to center field. Kanta Kobayashi has it in line. You can see the sunshine flashing off his glasses out there in center field. Second put out of the game for Kanta. And 1 on, 1 out for Dakota State. As Jace Pribble takes his time walking back across the field to the dugout. Shortstop Chris Burke steps into the batter's box. First pitch fastball outside corner for the called strike on the offering from Easton Britton. Checks his swing. They'll appeal. They say he went around. The strike called. 0-2 on Burke.
They're not supposed to be relining stuff to the dugout.
On the called strike 3 on the knees. Again, batters better go up swinging because the strike zones are pretty wide, and You know that going in. You've seen it for 9 innings in game number 1. We're in the second inning here. So the second strikeout of the game for Easton Britton. The next batter, the designated hitter, Cade Wenninger. Breaking ball down low. Easton Britton's out of Murray, Utah, his hometown. He played for Mesa Community College to start his college career. Down low, 2-0. That Mesa Community College club was second place in the 2019 Junior College World Series. On the outside edge, there's the called strike. 2-1 now on Wenninger. Wenninger was 1 for 4 in game number 1 today. Strike 2 called, 2-2 as Richardson came out of the crouch thinking about throwing down to first base. Count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Mason Macaluso led off the inning with a single. He's been there the next 2 batters as that one fouled back to the net by Wenninger. Wenninger out of Laverne, Minnesota. Lined out of play left side. Laverne on the western side of the state of Minnesota.
That was my first year. Look up. That was it. That was the favorite beer of South High.
Swing on and missed. Cade Wenninger goes down. 3rd strikeout of the game for Easton Britton, 2nd of the inning. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left on base after an inning and a half. Bellevue Bruins 1. Dakota State Trojans nothing.
So Doug Brennan and Jim Thomas have also reached out to me.
All right, let's get an update of the temperature here. Hey, Joey, how are you? Former Bellevue coach Joe Forrell joining us here today in the press box. Hiya, knucklehead.
I didn't know you got on the air, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got a couple. John Stella, old coach here. Joe here as well. So, former player and coach.
Back in the BC days.
Yeah, BC, Bellevue College back then. So how long did you coach? Yeah, I know you played there. You were a pitcher at Bellevue College. And how long did you coach?
I coached 4 years.
What were those years?
82 through 87.
All right, very good. So back to the old stomping grounds here. You grew up not too far from this field as well. I'm sure you played some ball games down here.
South High School, yep. Grew up 6 blocks away. It's a little different today than it was back then.
Just a touch. I keep telling people that all the time, too. It was just an all-skin dirt infield. There were old wooden light poles with incandescent lights that sort of threw a little bit of light on the field for those night games. But mosquitoes were as big as birds back then. So
Dugouts in the ground like they had now back then.
all right, let's get started with the bottom of the 2nd inning. Good seeing you, Joe. Bottom of the 2nd inning, leading off, first baseman, Mathieu Sirois. Old home week up here in the press box. Mathieu with that 500 batting average in conference coming into the series.
On the left. 1950.
Mathieu was 1 for 4 in game number 1, so that batting average just a fuzz below the 500 mark now in conference play. Swing and a miss on that cut fastball from starting pitcher Grant Sviculis. Sviculis with that 1.76 earned run average on the season. Outstanding mark.
I don't remember that. But this guy here.
Sirois lays off that pitch. 1-2 the count.
Every single one. Well, yeah,
Chopper on the ground into the hole. Shortstop Burke, a long throw across the diamond, and just in time on a good pick by Pribble at first base to retire Mathieu Sirois by a half a step. So some arm strength by Chris Burke, the Trojan shortstop, making the play.
after contact passed the bat, he was still dancing. So he didn't get
Next up for the Bruins, left fielder Jake Lacey.
it certainly
Left
didn't look
fielder, Jake Lacey.
Jake struggled a little bit in this series. He's been dropped down in the order, trying to find his groove, get back into the swing of things. Chopper on the first pitch. Dwayne Monlux makes the play on the second hop. Even though he struggled, Jake is still the leading RBI guy for the squad. 65 runs batted in on the year.
That was bad all around. The pitcher made a good
0 for 4 in game number 1 today. Little chopper, that's going to be a tough play for Portner. Charging, gloving, throwing, and way up the line. So an infield hit for Jake Lacey. Don't ask how, just ask how many, right? So he's on base with one away. Perfectly placed little chopper up the third base line. Portner should have probably just kept it in his pocket, but a good job again of backing up the play by second baseman Hakeem Yatim. Kept it from turning into a throwing error. Here's Bellevue catcher Trad Richardson. Richardson caught game number 1. He's behind the plate again game number 2, giving Logan Grant a little bit of a break after catching 22 innings yesterday in the doubleheader. Late swing and a breaking ball, fouled out of play right side.
I grew up with that Horsey and then the other one, Rotella. I grew up with both of those bakeries.
Pretty soon they're going to be sponsoring Bellevue's baseball players.
You know how much a loaf of bread was?
Richardson coming into the series, 369. Popped up on the infield. Let's see how the wind takes that. That'll blow it out of play.
I'm tell these guys the year you got your first toaster. They told me that.
0-2 the count on the Bruin catcher. Trad was 1 for 4 in game number 1. Gets that right foot planted in the batter's box. And that one's going to be in the center field. Some carry and some drift, but a diving grab out there by the center fielder Walker Holtgren. His throw to first base will double off Jake Lacey. So an excellent play by Walker Holtgren to rob Richardson of potential extra bases. And then the strong throw to get Jake Lacey before he could get back to first base. So the inning comes to an end. The Bruins, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and nobody left on base. 2 complete, the Bruins 1 and the Trojans nothing. We've seen some sparkling defensive plays this weekend as befitting the top 2 teams in the North Star Athletic Association. That one a layout by Walker Holtgren.
Stood there, stared at him when he did the
All right, a few more texts. Let's get to those. Let's go Bruins. Making carne asada while cheering for a win from Chula Vista, California. Oh, carne asada takes me back to my days in San Antonio. That sounds good. That's the Salicio family. Having a little late lunch out there in Chula Vista. Let's go Bruins. Looking good from Dwayne McGrain Pledger. I said that wrong. Looking good, Dwayne from McGrain Pledger. There we go. That makes more sense. McGrain Pledger, one of the stalwarts on the Bruins pitching mound for the last couple of years.
law school at Creighton.
Oh, at law school in Creighton University. Good luck with that as you continue your education. Utah sees you, number 4 and number 28. Let's go, Murray. Let's go, Bruins. Get this one in Omaha. Number 4, Drew Staley. Yeah, number 28, Easton Britton. All right, so the Utah connection out there in game number 2. And one more just in. Go Bruins, watching from Idaho, Josh Vaughn. He's another infielder for the Bruins. Josh was one of the players of the year in conference, wasn't he, a couple years ago? 2 years ago.
He was down last weekend with Deal.
All right, so a lot of the players listening in this weekend. We're glad you guys are along for the ride as we get ready for the top of the 3rd inning. Third baseman Dawson Portner will lead things off. First pitch from Easton Britton is upstairs, ball 1. Breaking ball misses away, now 2-0 the count. Yeah, always good to hear from the old players and coaches. Joe Forles, he fills both of those. He was a player and a coach. There's a called strike, making it a 2-1 count. Herb Kufer, former coach at Bellevue, way back in the early days. Often comes around for these alumni games. 3-1 the count as that breaking ball misses away. Dawson Portner leading off the top of the third inning. Bellevue with a 1-run lead. And that hits Portner as the fastball tailed inside. So for the second consecutive inning, the Trojans get their leadoff guy on. That'll bring to the plate second baseman Hakeem Yatim. The Indonesian native steps in, switch hitter. We came to realize, I guess we could have looked in the program, that would have been way too easy, as he batted right-handed against Kenji Miller in his final at-bat in the last inning. Dwayne Monlex motioning for his third baseman Nick Gray to come in, try to take the bunt away from Yatim up the third base side. He shows bunt, puts it right that way. And the throw goes into center field, but nobody was covering the center field bag. Well, that'll be scored a fielder's choice on Yatim. Do we give an error or do we not give an error?
Let me look it up.
Okay, that's one that has Bill scratching his head over there. Nick Gray fielded it, had a chance at second base, but Drew Staley was covering first, and C.J. Townsend was moving over to third base to cover up that empty base, and so the throw went out to center field, nobody within 20 feet of the base. So runners at first and second to start the third inning. Top of the order, here's catcher Ryan McDaniel. He'll show bunt, but fouls it up the first base line. So Dakota State head coach Darian Hardy trying to get two runners in scoring position with a sacrifice bunt here, if McDaniel can execute it. Britton comes set, ahead in the count, 0-1. Looks the lead runner back, not once, but twice, and then steps off to chase him back. First disengagement for Britton. Not showing bunt this time. McDaniel goes in the zone with the swing. He's down 0-2 in the count. Darian Hardy, not happy with that call. And now a little chirping between home plate umpire Braxton Arndt and Darian Hardy. And some of the Dakota State fans joining in as well. Upstairs on the fastball, 1-2.
No error is charged on that play.
Okay, no error charged on the previous play, just a fielder's choice for,
Sacrifice bunt as well.
and a sacrifice, so it doesn't count as an official at-bat. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Down low, 2-2. Intensity level ratcheted up as this one's for the regular season championship. Coaches, fans, and players all little extra intensity in this one. Breaking ball misses low and away. Count goes full. 2 on, nobody out. Top of the third inning. We had some clouds move in late in game number 1. They've all pretty much blown away as the sun's shining down. 3-2 pitch hit to Nick Gray. Comes up, steps on third for 1, goes to second for 2. The Bruins get both of the lead runners on the play. Nick Gray with a heads-up play there. So score that, a fielder's choice for Ryan McDaniel. He'll step out as the courtesy runner Daniel Lesher comes in for him. So Portner is retired 5 unassisted. Yatim retired 5-4 on the play at second base.
Walker Holtgren.
And the batter will be the center fielder, Walker Holtgren. He made a sensational play in the last half inning. Comes up empty on that swing, chasing a high fastball. So Daniel Lesher, the courtesy runner, at first. He's done that all series long for the catcher McDaniel. 0-1 the count to Holtgren. 0-2. Holtgren trying to get something in the air to the right field side as he's had big swings on those couple of pitches. Easton Britton trying to pitch out of trouble at the top of the third inning. Way wide on that one as Richardson set up off the outside edge.
Give you 3 inches. He won't give you 6 or 7. Unless you in the ring. I would have been great below the road. Oh, my.
Fouled out of play, opposite way. Count remains 1-2.
You're done. Probably. I left at about 9:30. No,
Eugene, he said he was 16th inning.
Yeah, 15 I think is what they ended up at.
Again, fouled out of play. Smart swing by Walker Holtgren. He knows the home plate strike zone is pretty wide, so that pitch off the outside edge, but he went for it, trying to protect to stay alive at 1-2. Coming inside, he went around. The tag applied by Richardson, and the strikeout retires the side. The Trojans get their 2 lead guys on base, but can't cash them in. No runs on no hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base after 2.5. The Bruins won, and the Trojans nothing, battling for the North Star Athletic Association regular season championship from John Stella Field at Brown Park.
Mickey, did you play or coach in that Colin Orkins game?
Yeah, I coached 2 years.
Well, we're on
Yes,
you too.
yeah, you sent me a text message a couple days ago. Cool,
Coaches are gonna
yeah,
be
I'll be
honored
here.
also.
Yeah, if you're, John just reminded me, if you're in the Omaha area and a baseball fan, the annual Colin Orcutt game is in its 50th year this year, and there'll be a celebration not only of this current class of high school players, but anybody who's ever played or coached in that game over the years is going to be recognized. So yeah, I coached in that a couple of years back in my Gross High days,
I knew you did that.
and my son Mickey played in the game as well.
Very good.
So we'll try to drag him along as well. That's coming up on Memorial Day.
2 weeks away. Huh?
2 weeks away, coming up soon.
Outstanding.
Yeah. John, tell us a little bit about what an honor it was to have this field named after you.
Well, I don't know. The City Council of Omaha, they must have been something wrong with them that particular Tuesday, and that's what they came away with.
Well, it's a well-deserved honor, John, for all the hours, days, weeks, months, years you put in down here making this a great place.
Here in 1949 was a freshman at South.
1949 and still going strong. John Stella, the namesake for the field. As we get ready for the bottom of the 3rd inning, it'll be shortstop C.J. Townsend to lead things off. Good seeing you, Johnny. All right, take care. See you at the Colin Orcutt game. 1 strike on Townsend as Grant Svikula is back on for his 3rd inning of work, the starting pitcher for Dakota State. Overhand breaking ball misses away. Hate to say it, we got a few nasty fans in the stands here today.
They're having fun, Mick.
Oh, okay. Chopper up the middle. Burke fields it right behind second base. A quick release on the throw, and he retires C.J. Townsend on a bang-bang play at first base. Again, the defensive show continues. Good range by Burke and a quick release. That was the key to that one, getting it out of his glove. And the strong throw, 1 up, 1 out. Back to the top of the order for the Bruins, 2nd time through against starting pitcher Grant Svikula. Here's Kanta Kobayashi, reached on an error, has come around to score the first run of the game for the Bruins. Shows bunt, comes up empty on that, strike called. Third baseman Dawson Portner playing in several steps in front of the baseline, trying to take away the bunt that way. Looked like Kanta was trying to pull it up the first base side that last attempt. 1-1 the count as that pitch misses in.
Although listening to their parents, you see where they get their chirpiness from.
70.
Lack of education.
Yep.
Nipping
How
at
old are you? 30?
your, happens when you're young. Nipping at your heels.
Homeschool time.
Now 2-1 down low.
Yep. I'm coming.
I might be gone by then.
Probably not.
Hey, see you later.
See ya.
Keep up the good work.
Svikula shakes off the first suggestion from his catcher Ryan McDaniel.
Keep up the good work, guys.
Stella, take care.
On the outside corner, the call strike. 2-2 the count on Kanta Kobayashi, the returning NAIA All-American.
We gotta get an escalator here.
Put that in for the.
We'll We'll call our money guy.
Conta stays alive, protecting the plate, fouling it up the left field side.
Just have Gene live at the park and carry him up and down.
That's all. What's that little chair thing that you get? To just
Oh, the wall chair?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Have a throw.
Here's the 2-2 once again. Bounce to the plate. Count will go full. Payoff pitch upcoming in the battle between Grant Svikulis and Kanta Kobayashi. Australia versus Japan in this matchup.
Made like a little dumpling
Yeah.
down in the old kitchen.
Say firing them slides, right? You might be a little old for that now.
Off the outside edge, Kobayashi will draw the walk. And the Bruins have had a base runner on in each of the first 3 innings. Kobayashi's been on twice. Here's second baseman Drew Staley, executed a perfect sacrifice bunt his first time up to get Kobayashi in a scoring position where Logan Grant drove him home.
In the second spot, second baseman, Drew Staley.
Staley continues to see his batting average go up during the season. Kobayashi on the move on the hit and run. Hit to shortstop Chris Burke. Looked up a little bit too quickly that time. And Staley will reach on the E6.
First time I recall seeing Drew swing on strike one. It was a hit and run, though, right? Yeah.
On the hit and run play, the Bruins have runners at first and second now for Logan Grant. Grant with a double his first time up.
My pitching coach told me that the team they used to play.
Logan with 55 runs batted in on the year. Would love to have a few more with this at bat.
They had boots on a fishing line. And so when like booted that ball, they'd cast it out on the field.
Big swing that time, but misses on a breaking ball from Svikulis.
You know who's got a really good crowd for games is Louisiana Lafayette.
Yeah.
They just, like, it's a pretty big party school anyways, but their students just sit in the outfield and give shit. Stop.
Fouled against the netting up the third base side. 0-2 the count on Logan.
They do it like baseball and softball. It's not just exclusive to
I actually
baseball.
kind of liked a few of those games when the basketball teams are down here.
Oh, they're great.
Logan, the native of Chestermere, Alberta, Canada.
It's like some of the stuff they say is so off the wall. It's like, man, I never really thought of that. It's
Right.
Like,
Solid contributor in his first year as a Bellevue Bruin. Chops that one foul over near the Bellevue dugout.
And you know how they have the running slappers?
Nick Grade makes the play. He can make it play defensively with the glove or without.
Swing out on a slab, and one of our basketball guys, yo, you can't do that. That's a travel.
Here, all the fans were bitching to me.
When was it?
Mentioned in game number 1, Logan is the only Bruin who has played in all 50 games this year. Chopper up first base side. That'll be foul as well. Austin Alexander with the play there. Bellevue's volunteer assistant coach, another former player. The set, the pitch off the foot of the pitcher over to third base. The throw to second base, not in time. Infield single of the hard hit ball from Logan Grant. It hits Grant Svikulis off the side of the foot, deflected over to third base where Portner tried to go to second, but just a little bit too late to get Drew Staley hustling down the line.
I believe Conta could have kicked that if he made it look unintentional and scored a run. Really? Because it already hit a fielder.
I would have never seen the play.
You have to really you have to sell it because they'll give the benefit of the doubt to the defensive team.
So Kobayashi at third, Staley at second, Grant at first, and the batter, Bellevue third baseman Nick Grade. The Bruins with just one out, a chance to add to their one-run lead. Defense at the corners in a little bit as Grade takes that pitch inside, ball 1. First and third in front of the baseline, trying to cut down the run at the plate. Middle infielders playing a double play depth there.
I mean, it wasn't close.
There's a called strike, evens it up at 1-1. So a big situation in the game once again. Bellevue scored 2 runs on safety squeezes in game number 1. Will they do that again here? Grade, the cleanup hitter. They show bunt, put it down. The Bruins are going to score another run. And down to first base just in time to retire Nick Grade. He'll get credit for an RBI and a sacrifice. 1-3 on the play as Kobayashi scores. Staley gets to third and Grant down to second. Well, the Bruins lead it by a score of 2-0 now. As the Bruins playing some small ball.
The right fielder, Anthony Lynn.
Here's Anthony Lynn. 2 runners still in scoring position for Bellevue. Every run is precious as the disengagement by Sviculus here.
The other day I was pricing out cinder blocks.
Catcher Ryan McDaniel puts down some fingers for the signal.
Process of building my own.
Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 1.
They're not cheap right now.
He's gonna
Lind 0 for 1 in this one.
Who is it again?
Had a sacrifice and an RBI in game number 1 today.
Definitely something.
Lays off the high fastball. First base is open, so let's see how Grant Sviculus attacks Anthony Lynn behind the count 2-0. He's not just going to plate one down the middle.
Well, the pitcher's trying to pitch to Serwan, though.
Bounce past the catcher. Here comes a runner from third, and the score will count. Drew Staley got a good jump from third on that wild pitch. It's not always very easy to score from third base on a wild pitch as the backstop is very close. Grant advancing to third on the play. The wild pitch gives Bellevue a 3-0 lead. That one bounced at about the 55-foot mark, went right over the body of Ryan McDaniel, the catcher. So 3-0 the count. Now 3-1.
You gotta stay. He's pointing out to you.
Sviculus, let's see if he can come back in the count against Anthony. Hit in the air to right side. Macaluso heading back to the warning track. That's going to carry out of here. Anthony Lynn with a 2-run home run to right field gives the Bellevue Bruins a 5-0 lead. Logan Grant scores ahead of Lynn on the home run. And the Bruins, just as they did in game number 1, come out to a 5-run lead. For Anthony Lynn, that is his 7th home run on the season, and now 40 runs batted in.
Now batting the first baseman,
Mathieu Sirois will step up next for the Bruins.
5-0.
Yes, sir.
Dude, that was
Down low, ball 1.
That looked very routine.
out that tree.
Say it. Just
It just kept going.
Wind helped push that one a little bit. It was hit well by Lynn going opposite way. Carried well over the fence in right field for the 2-run home run. Sirois now ahead in the count, 2-0. Breaking ball in the zone.
Oh, here comes some South guys.
2 balls, 1 strike to count on the native of Quebec City, Canada. His father and grandfather in attendance this weekend.
That's a shame.
Now 3-1 as Sviculus is coming up short on quite a few of his fastballs.
It's amazing how always the better players that go out of their way to do extra baseball stuff.
So they're bringing food, so they probably just didn't come.
The long look in for the signal.
Come hang out.
Better
Cool.
than doing nothing.
Right?
Overhand breaking ball. Now a full count. Good drop on that breaking ball from Sviculus. So payoff pitch upcoming. Australia versus Canada on this matchup. Australia on the mound, Canada at the plate. Chopper. Portner on the short hop. Sidearm throw, another bang bang at first. 5-3 on the play. Again, another nice glove play by third baseman Dawson Portner. And a good play at first as Sirois is retired. The Bruins pick up 4 runs in the inning
That play right, that's a hell of a hit.
on just 1 hit There was one error and nobody left on base. A big hit in the inning, the 2-run home run by Anthony Lynn. After 3 completed this 7-inning contest, the Bellevue Bruins 5, the Dakota State Trojans nothing. Easton Brinton back to the mound for the Bruins as they have a comfortable 5-run lead, but again with the wind blowing and situation still 4 innings to go in this one. Go Bruins from grandfather Luther listening in Toronto, Canada. That's Bellevue shortstop Brendan Luther's dad. Glad you're with us today, and we hope Brendan's back healed up as quickly as possible. Go Bruins, the Williams family from Kansas City, Missouri. Major League Baseball commentating. Oh, thank you. Appreciate hearing that. I have fun doing this. This is my 15th year of doing Bellevue baseball now.
There were 6 inches of difference.
The Townsends are wearing their lucky hat again today. Go Bruins from up Oregon way. Glad you guys are with us for both games today. 4-game set. Leading off the top of the 4th inning for the Trojans, left fielder Jeremy Green. First pitch outside on a breaking ball from Easton Brinton. Five runs on only 4 hits. Hit in the air to deep right field. Anthony Lind having to adjust with the wind and the sun. Now comes back in a little bit and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Again, we said that anything hit in the air is going to be an adventure. Lind had to go back, then come forward, then go sideways, stays with it to make the catch.
Next to the plate, the right fielder, Mason Macaluso.
Next up, right fielder Mason Macaluso. First pitch fastball, that's going to the right side as well. Another opportunity for Lind. The wind's going to just blow that crazy and out of play in foul territory.
A lot of wind.
Again, the wind gusting up into the upper 30 miles per hour out of the west-northwest today. We had some gusty winds yesterday. The wind more out of the northwest. It's about 10 to 15 degrees warmer today than it was yesterday. Much more comfortable day to play baseball or just be outside in general. Here's the 0-1 pitch, breaking ball, little flare to the right side. Mathieu Serrois will use his hat, his sunglasses, and glove to shield and make the catch for the second out of the inning. Quickly 2 away in the 4th inning. Next up, first baseman Jace Pribble.
He's not in uniform, so I don't know if the rules are different.
Next to the plate, the first baseman, Jace Pribble.
2 outs.
Pribble, the junior out of Monticello, Minnesota. First pitch swinging, fouled back to the screen.
Couldn't afford admission.
He's been out there the last 2 days. Probably his little head through his pants.
He's probably a Dakota State fan, but knows the rest of them and doesn't want to be near them.
Chopper on the ground is short. C.J. Townsend will charge, glove it, throw it, and the inning is retired. 1, 2, 3. 2 fly balls and a ground out in the inning. After 3.5, our score remains the Bellevue Bruins 5 and the Dakota State Trojans nothing.
Hey, how's that? How's that?
Vamos aquí. Right?
Bill, are all 8 teams involved in the baseball tournament or just the top 6? All 8. All right, that tournament will be coming up beginning on Friday, May the 5th in Dickinson, North Dakota. One of these 2 teams, either Bellevue or Dakota State, will be the number 1 seed. Presentation College already been determined the number 8 seed. Presentation 0-24 on the season in their final year of existence as a school and baseball program. The rest will be determined after the conclusion of the regular season. Still 1 game to finish the regular season tomorrow.
I don't know.
A double elimination tournament in Dickinson, North Dakota. The tournament winner gets the automatic bid to the NAIA National Tournament. There may be an at-large bid as well, as 46 teams will compete in the national tournament. Finally got that number right. Thanks again to Bill Mullins.
Wait, they'll change it again next time.
Some years it's 45, some years it's 50, and some years who knows. So 46 this year. held at Lewis and Clark State University in Lewiston, Idaho. The Avista NAIA World Series, the 10 opening round winners advancing there later in May.
Really nice campus, really nice ball.
Left fielder.
Bruins looking for some insurance runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be left fielder Jake Lacey to lead things off. Lacey with a base hit his first time up in this one. First pitch from Sviculus. Bounce to the plate over the top of Ryan McDaniel. Line hard. Lacey hits that one center field, but run down out there nicely by Walker Holtgren, who got a good jump. A well-hit ball by Jake Lacey, but into the glove of the center fielder. Next up for the Bruins, catcher Trad Richardson. Richardson also lined out to Holtgren in center field, his first time up. First pitch swinging, foul out of play up near my old house there. Haven't commented on the shiny shoes, the back of the shoes of Trad Richardson in a while, so I get to see that when he's batting and also catching today. Went after a high fastball. Nothing going there. Now 0-2 the count on Trad, the Montana native. Again, his family listening in Frenchtown, Montana. Shallow fly ball. Now Chris Burke will stop in his tracks as the wind's going to blow it back towards the infield. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. 9-hole hitter C.J. Townsend next up for the Bruins. He grounded out to his shortstop counterpart Chris Burke his first time up in this one. Lucky Hats ready in Oregon. Breaking ball called strike one. Again, Sviculus looking in at McDaniel.
Meanwhile, their head coach's truck got stolen on.
Shallow center field. Holtgren on the run. Right, that's the second baseman, Hakeem Yatim, who will go out and cover some distance and make an over-the-shoulder play to retire the side. So nothing going for the Bruins in the bottom of the 4th inning. 3 up, 3 down. 4 innings complete in this 7-inning contest. Bellevue 5, Dakota State nothing.
Don't be saying that shit. Don't be saying that shit, 30.
Dakota State started off the season 7-12. But since that time, 27-3 overall to run their current record to 34-15 overall. And as we've mentioned many times, in a first place tie with these Bruins in the North Star Athletic Association, this championship game, a scheduler's delight.
I believe Mitch is the one who did the schedule, but I could be mistaken.
Hey, we haven't saluted the Bellevue coaches in a little bit here, so let's do that right now. Dwayne Monlex, the Bellevue head coach out of Gillette, Wyoming. He's been here for 13 years. Mitch Schmidt from Billings, Montana. He's been around for 17 years. Sean Malley, also from Billings. Where'd that other sheet go? There we go. Sean for 16 years. Assistant coach Richie Moore out of Council Bluffs. He's been around for 13 years. And volunteer assistant Austin Alexander out of Adger, Alabama. 2 years as a player, 3 years now as a volunteer assistant coach. So tip of the cap to those guys. Over 500 wins as a staff together, those first 5 guys at Bellevue University. Leading off the top of the 5th inning, shortstop Chris Burke swings and misses at a breaking ball from Easton Brinton.
532 if you're keeping a running tally.
532 total victories for that crew. Thanks again to Bill Mullins. His quick fingers and sharp brains working there on the computer. chopper foul up the third base side. Darian Hardy makes the play. 1-2 the count on the Trojan shortstop. Line hard, but right into the glove of third baseman Nick Gray. It must have taken a little bit of a knuckleball movement right at the end as he had to make a quick adjustment with the glove, but the hot corner, 1 out away in the 5th inning. Here's designated hitter Cade Wenninger.
Designated hitter.
Wenninger, a strikeout victim, his first time up in this one. Had a home run yesterday in the second game of the set. And he hits that one well to right field. That one's going to go bye-bye. 2 home runs on the weekend for Cade Wenninger as he gets the Trojans on the board with the solo home run.
5-1. And the biggest game we've played in like 20 years.
5-1 now our score for Wenninger. That is his second home run of the season, and now 8 runs batted in. So he likes John Stella Field at Brown Park. Both of his home runs this year have come to right center field.
Good time to bat flip, too, down 5. Good time to bat flip, down 5, huh?
Next up, third baseman Dawson Portner.
Third baseman Dawson Portner.
Most of Portner's contributions this weekend have come with the glove. First pitch swinging here. C.J. Townsend, a sliding backhand play in the hole. The pick at first base gets away from Serwan. That'll be ruled an infield hit for Portner.
We have someone going in the pen yet? Because Easton's about I think so, yeah. It's got 3 good balls. Is that a hit? Yeah, hit. 59.
59 pitches thus far for Easton Britton.
3 balls this inning is smoked.
So 3 hard hit balls in the inning. Next up, second baseman Hakeem Yateem. Had a sacrifice his first time up today.
But I just set up here.
On the outside corner, called strike 1.
Is it borderline when you spend all game? That's true.
Dakota State not using the traditional signal system, as players have a little device on their belt to help keep track of what head coach Darian Hardy wants them to do. Again, trying to shoot the outside corner. That one misses too far outside. 1-1 the count. Yateem, a .350 hitter in conference play coming into today's action, fouls that one back to the net. .271 overall on the season, .350 in North Star play. Down to the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One of 3 left-handed batters in the Dakota State lineup. That one gets away from Richardson up near the first base side. On the wild pitch, Portner will advance to second base. That takes away the double play opportunity. 2-2 the count.
191st overall pick to the Buccaneers. I would have thought he was going 4th. That's what I thought. He and Doshawn Mathis got drafted too.
Foul out of play up the left field side over into the entryway to John Stella Field at Brown Park. If you've never been to John Stella Field at Brown Park and you come here, be sure to spend some time looking at all the monuments and recognitions on the way into the park up the left field line. Hit in the air to shallow right field. Anthony Lynn on the move. He'll get there to make the catch and quickly gets it in to prevent an advance on the play. So 2 outs in the inning. And back to the top of the order, Ryan McDaniel. Several monuments out there dedicated to servicemen who gave their lives in defense of this country. Also the old original plaque that was at Omaha's Rosenblatt Stadium for about 60 years before that stadium was torn down and replaced with the new downtown stadium. Just kind of a fun way to spend an extra couple of minutes walking in. A breaking ball misses up and in.
You're down 4, just wear it.
Also, there's the John Doe, the J. Doe baseball player coming in. That was a civic thing back about 15, 20 years or so ago. A little low, 2-0 the count. On catcher, Ryan McDaniel. Top of the 5th inning, 5-1 our score. The Trojans getting on the board in this inning. That one's fouled back by McDaniel.
2-1, right?
Two balls, one strike to count on McDaniel. Base runner is Dawson Portner at second base, getting his lead. There's a called strike right down the middle of the plate. McDaniel must have been guessing something other than that as he took it. Evens the count at 2-2. A mostly sunny day in Omaha. Chopper up the third base side, looked into the glove by Grade, and the side is retired. 5-3 on that play. 1 run on 2 hits. The big blow, the solo home run by Cade Wenninger. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. After 4.5, the Bruins 5 and the Trojans 1. Easton Britton, the Bellevue starter, gets through 5 innings. He is in line to be the winning pitcher. Let's see if he will continue on in the next inning or the Bruins go to the pen. Bellevue still has some bullets left down there as they've haven't used a lot of pitchers in this one despite playing a 15-inning game yesterday. Back to the mound for the Dakota State Trojans, Grant Svikulis. Trying to hold the Bruins in check. Let's go. Keep the pedal on the gas. We love Trad Richardson, sunny weather, and the Bruins. That comes from Trad's family in Frenchtown, Montana. I'll have to look up on the map where exactly Frenchtown is. My wife and I were on a Montana vacation, not last fall, but the fall before. Beautiful country up there around Glacier National Park. And we also had fun. There's at the original territorial capital of Montana, a little town called Bannock. Just a wide spot in the road, but they've brought in some of the original buildings are there, and they've also brought in old buildings from across the state. We happened to be there on a living history weekend, so it was a lot of fun as an old history teacher here to see the place and the people involved from the Montana Historical Society. For the Bruins, in the bottom of the 5th inning, it'll be the top of the order. 3rd time through for everybody against starting pitcher Grant Svikulis. 5 runs on 4 hits for the Bruins thus far.
I was told to give you that.
Oh, there we go. All right, so you guys are just a little south of Glacier. All right, thank you.
Looks like 17 and 20.
For the update on Frenchtown, 2 relief pitchers warming up in the Bellevue bullpen. Breaking ball from Svikulis. Starts things off for a strike against Kanta Kobayashi. Kanta with the line drive into right center field. He'll be on leading it off for the 3rd consecutive time. Once reaching on an error, once on a walk, and now on a base hit, his first hit of the game. He's had at least 1 hit in each of the 4 games in this series. As a big bank of clouds blocks out the sun momentarily as Drew Staley steps to the plate. Again, a good hit and run combination.
Second baseman, Drew Staley.
Ryan McDaniel steps out like an air traffic controller on the flight deck of an aircraft carrier, signaling to his infield what he wants to do.
We don't have the pitcher at all.
Staley showing bunt, puts it in a good spot. Portner gets to the ball. A quick play at first base. The ball is dropped there by your team. That'll allow Kanta Kobayashi to get all the way to 3rd base. All right, Bill, what's your official ruling on that one? I think I'm giving Staley a base hit because it was a bang-bang play.
I'm I'll do that, and then I'm going to give the second baseman an error for dropping the ball and allowing Condon to get the third.
All right, so base hit for Staley, and E4 on second baseman Hakeem Yatim dropping the ball. The throw was on the money, but Drew was already past the base. So the Bruins with runners at the corners, nobody out. Great way to start the inning as Logan Grant steps in.
Just the starting pitching.
All the pitching.
Throw over to first base, sends Staley back to the bag. So Drew doing a nice job in that two-hole spot.
Nothing falls.
I mean, the bat's kind of the same.
They're similar.
Yeah, you know. There's some
Multiple hits, multiple sacrifices on the day for Drew.
Are way better at the D1 level, too.
Grant awaits.
You just can't.
Chopper to the right side. Here comes the runner to score. The play will be at second base. A return throw first, not in time. That'll be an RBI for Logan Grant on the fielder's choice. He'll be the runner at first. Kobayashi scores on the play, the sixth run for the Bruins. Staley retired 3-6 on the out at second base. So 1 run in, one out, and the batter will be third baseman Nick Grade. Oh, the Bruins add to regain their 5-run cushion.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. When you only have a
Breaking ball, Grade holds up the swing. The appeal to the base umpire agrees. Again, a series of signs from Dwayne Monlux.
I was the opening day left field.
Grant, the runner at first, decent speed.
nice 0 for 9.
Usually add comma for a catcher, but Grant, good speed for any player, any position. Shows bunt, pulls it back.
They were pretty short.
Coach Monlux was up in the press box in between games for a few moments and said he might continue to put the pressure on with the bunt game. We've seen that in both games of today's doubleheader. We saw it yesterday as well.
I started at second base against Cal.
Down low.
3-0.
3-0 the count
I was hurt the whole year.
as double-barreled action in the Dakota State bullpen continues.
17 and 29.
Thank you.
Stanford was cool.
Bunch of nerds.
Called strike. Cole Westerland
Barfield was sweet too. It's
and Aiden Urban
That's pretty cool.
go watch minor league games.
are the two in the bullpen right now. 3-1 the count
Our trip to
for Grade.
California.
And he'll draw the walk.
Salt Lake City Bees game. Yeah. We had 4th of July. There.
Grant down to second. Grade at first as Anthony Lynn steps in.
It was
Anthony with a 2-run home run his last time up went opposite field
Batting the fifth spot,
and helped jolt the Bruins
right fielder,
to a big lead in that third inning. 1-run leads are just too precarious. 5-run leads are much better. Another statement of the obvious coming to you from Mick Krupski.
we pay extra for that level of analysis.
There we go. First pitch wide.
Speaking of analysis, what are you doing, Jared, the 15th through the 18th of May?
And the sun comes back.
maybe. What do you mean to do?
Hang out on the radio call with him as the color analyst.
The set and the pitch. Bunted but foul. Oh, again, the Bruins continuing to try to use that bunt game to put pressure on.
My mom was scheduled. Yeah, he threw a strike there, and strikes are better than balls.
1 run in, 1 out, 2 on. Grant the runner at second. Grade the runner at first. Lind at the plate. Chopper to short. Burke goes to second for 1. The turn there, not in time. On the fielder's choice, Anthony Lynn reaches first base. Nick Grade retired 6-4. The play at second base. Logan Grant advancing to third. Next up for the Bruins, first baseman Mathieu Serrois. Mathieu 0 for 2 in this one.
the first baseman.
Had a double in game number 1 today. Had a single in game number 2 of the series and a home run in game number 1 of the 4-game set. That one's jolted into center field. Goodbye, baseball into the second row of cars. Mathieu Sirois, his dad and grandpa, got to see that in person as he jolts the 3-run home run, scoring Grant and Lind ahead of him. Mathieu Sirois, the smile on his face, helmet taps and handshakes from his teammates. The Bruins jump out to a 9-run lead. For Mathieu Sirois, that is his 11th home run of the season, and now 38 runs batted in, and that looks like it may be the end of the line for starter Grant Sviculis. He allows 9 runs on 6 hits to the Bruins. 8 of the runs, I believe, are earned. The first one wasn't because Conta reached on an error, but I think every other, nope. And Drew reached on an error as well. Bill will have to figure that out to be exact. Anyway, look at it. The Bruins are up by a score of 9-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. The first run of the inning on the RBI by Logan Grant. The last 3 on another tape measure shot by Mathieu Sirois out over the center field fence.
It hit a cow.
I always see that when they play some music.
That guy's wearing shirt. You see that car out there, the white one? Over that.
Oh, this line drive over that. Yeah. Okay. With the wind blowing in.
Into the game for the Trojans of Dakota State, number 17, Cole Westerland, a sophomore right-hander out of Gilbert, Arizona. Another Gilbert guy.
Didn't even know.
For Westerland, this is his 11th appearance on the season, all of them in relief. He's thrown 15 1/3 innings of work, has allowed 18 hits, has allowed 7 runs, walked 10 and struck out 14, a 4.11 earned run average, a 1-3 record on the season for Westerland. The Bruins may have put this one out of reach in the 5th inning. Again, game number 2, the 7-inning contest. Only 6 outs remaining for the Dakota State offense. Yes, Frenchtown is west of Omaha. Thank you to the Townsends picking up on my lines. I've already caught in grief for that from the guys in the press box. Here we go, back to the action. Jake Lacey, the left fielder, hit the ball hard his last time up to center field. But into the glove of Walker Holtgren out there. First pitch from Westerland is wide all the way to the screen. Wind continuing to blow from left to right. Lacey got a hit his first time up. Little chopper foul up the third base side. File that under the, this is baseball sometimes category. Lacey, just a little dribbler his first time, but it counted for a hit. Second time, smacked right on the nose, but it turns into an out. Called strike on the breaking ball from Westerland. 1-2 now the count on the Bruin left fielder.
Just let me look it over before I sign off on it.
Way wide on that breaking ball.
Be a little control freaky. 4 of the runs were earned.
Jake was a 2-time all-conference player in junior college, playing at Miles Community College in Miles, Montana. That one's hit well down the right field side, but the wind's going to push that foul. Right fielder Mason Macaluso giving chase, but the wind just kept pushing it further and further away from him. All right, Bill tells me of the 9 runs Bellevue scored, 4 of them are earned and 5 unearned. 3 errors for Dakota State contributing to that. The at-bat continues for Jake Lacey. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Off the outside edge, once again, full count.
Got a little more random selection.
They have like a bunch of those in a month and stuff.
I got a bunch of.
I just want to know how the umpires help the
Right here. You know the senior there? You got the customizer. The name on it.
And the strike three dropped by the catcher. He'll have to record the out at first base, and he does. So the strikeout retires the side. The Bruins pick up 4 runs in the inning on 3 hits. The big blast, the 3-run homer by Mathieu Sirois. And as we head to the top of the 6th inning, the Bruins 9 and the Trojans 1.
Helps us. Was that Bellevue a little bit? One of the guys used to, I guess, help coach at the South. Yeah. He's like a really old baseball. We're not gonna see him like driving his glove.
4 home runs for the Bruins in the first game of this series. 2 more here in the 4th. Nothing in between. The Bruins putting the pressure on with the small ball and capitalizing when they can with the long ball.
There's a lot of guys like that. Just like, how about it? I'm not even gonna say the top part. I'm just gonna say that.
I love playing music like this shit.
No, I'd say
Easton Britton back to the mound for the Bruins, continuing on into his 6th inning of work.
do this part first. Then
He'll be facing the 2-3-4 part of the lineup for Dakota State.
maybe throw a congratulations in there. Some effect. Just working on the post-game script next year.
There you go.
Yeah, actually, I like that. Yeah, congratulations
Congratulations.
to the Bellevue University Bruins.
They are your 2023 North Star Athletic Association regular season champions and will be the #1 seed in next week's NSA tournament.
Leading off the top of the 6th inning for Dakota State. 6 outs remaining for the Trojans. Here's the center fielder, Walker Holtgren.
Leading off Dakota State, the center fielder, Walker Holtgren.
Holtgren up twice, has struck out twice against Easton Britton. First pitch down low, ball 1. Holtgren, the leading hitter on the year for the Trojans, would love to get things started. Down by 8 runs, he comes up empty on that swing, 1-1.
Looking for an 8-run home run.
Last summer.
Holtgren does have 9 home runs on the season. A home run type swing there, but come up empty. Grounded over to Mathieu Sirois. He stays down low, gloves it, and steps on the base for the first out of the inning. Next up, left fielder Jeremy Green. Green 0 for 2, a line drive out and a fly ball out. Only 3 hits for the Trojans to this point in the game.
Place the left fielder, Jeremy Green.
Sky-high fly ball. This could be an adventure. C.J. Townsend out in the shallow left field. Now Jake Lacey will call him off and stay with it to make the catch for the second out of the inning. That one was hit higher than it was hit far. Good job by Lacey, the left fielder, to call off his shortstop and make the catch. So quickly, 2 away in the 6th inning. The next batter is right fielder Mason Macaluso. He has one of those 3 hits. Macaluso has a single. Dawson Portner has a single. And Cade Wenninger has the solo home run. First pitch swinging once again off the on-deck hitter, Chase Pribble. Don't see that a whole lot. Yeah, you pulled that one so much it hit the guy behind him in the on-deck circle. Swings and misses, 0-2. Easton Britton trying for the 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 6th. Popped up to right center field. Lind and Kobayashi both. It'll be Lind who makes a call as the wind's blowing in his direction. Loses his cap and makes the catch to retire the side. A quick 1-2-3 in the top of the 6th inning. As we head to the bottom half of the frame in this 7-inning contest, the Bruins with an 8-run lead at 9-1. Only 3 outs remaining. Congratulations to the Bellevue University softball team. They secured the North Star Athletic Association softball championship earlier in the week. They're playing Mayville today at Roy Smith Field, just a few blocks away from here in game number 1. Bellevue wins it by a score of 8-0 over Mayville in 5 innings. So congrats to head coach Michaela Samino and her staff and players for winning the regular season championship in softball. And good luck as they finish up their season. Game number 2, the Bruins enjoying a 5-0 lead in the bottom of the 2nd inning over Mayville State.
I don't think he's doing anything damage.
Back to the mound in relief, Cole Westerland, trying to hold the Bruins where they are and give his team one final chance, even though it's a long shot, down by 8 runs. For Bellevue, it'll be Richardson, Townsend, and then the top of the order. This looks like it'll be Westerland's game to finish up as nobody else throwing in the Dakota State bullpen.
He scored 26 runs off their starting pitching this weekend.
Yeah, number 1 ERA in the nation.
Also, you don't play anybody.
Trent Richardson will lead things off for the Bruins. The Bellevue catcher getting ready to start off the inning.
Brad Richardson.
Their starters only pitch like 22 innings.
Yabba dabba doo Matthew. All gas, no breaks, Bellevue. From the Sakamotos, first pitch from Westerland to Richardson, a breaking ball for a called strike 1.
I have no idea. I'm not going to make that call.
I think I should. No, I should, honestly.
1-1 the count.
Well, you're going to be in the dog pile, so you can handle music.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't work for us, so I can't really say shit.
Breaking ball misses again outside.
Just make sure everyone's You got another one.
I'm flipping over the microphone, so. Up and away, 3-1 now the count on Trad Richardson, leading off the bottom of the 6th inning. Bellevue enjoying an 9-1 lead, an 8-run cushion. Westerland comes set and misses away. Richardson will draw the leadoff walk. And as the catcher, he is allowed a courtesy runner. Takumi Mieno steps in off the bench. And Takumi, the leading base stealer for the Bruins, will step on the bag. At the plate, C.J. Townsend. Townsend 0 for 2. Made a couple of nice plays in that shortstop spot on both games today. Shows bunt, but bunted back to the screen for a foul ball.
It's only Nebraska's playing like there's only 7 hits. Oh, 13 now. 0-1?
Oh, one.
CJ, a big deep breath exhaling. Now he's back into the batter's box again. CJ, right, that front foot, right at the top of the Bellevue, or the batter's box, excuse me.
I was actually hoping that old Max would get another ball.
Up and away. 1-1 the count on CJ. CJ started his college career at Treasure Valley Community College. I love their nickname, the Chuckers. Do you know what a chucker is? It's a bird. There we go. Runner goes on the hit and run. Foul out of play as the Bruins continuing to put pressure on. Kind of like a partridge, I think. 1-2 the count.
This is what they do in the SEC. They give people yelling.
Yeah, well, they don't play big half the ball game going into the 7th. They also don't play 7-inning games.
CJ fouls that one back, protecting the zone.
That Nebraska game last night I was watching it. Yeah. Now they're up 17-0.
I think just maybe making them overly sensitive. Say just plain take me out to the ball game is sufficient enough. Like where it's not going to be a stab at it.
Westerland continues. Sets And pitches and line hard into center field. C.J. Townsend with a solid single to center. Rounding second on his way to third, Takumi Maeno. And the Bruins have runners at the corners. Still nobody out in the bottom of the sixth inning as the Bruins pulling away from the Trojans, trying to earn another regular season baseball championship. Here's Kanta Kobayashi.
Back to the top door, the Bruins.
His fellow countryman Takumi Maeno down at third base, while C.J. Townsend gets the lead off of first. Popped up, that'll get out of play. We had a few moments where the breeze was kind of calmed, but now it's picked back up once again. Upstairs, 1-1. Bellevue has put in a bid to once again host an opening round regional for the NAIA National Tournament. That would begin on May 15th. If the Bruins get the bid, it's pretty good chance they'll get it. Westerland will go to second base, but throws to the wrong player. And the run will score. The throw went to the second baseman, Hakeem Yatim, but it was the shortstop, Chris Burke, who was standing on the base. E1 on the throw. Takumi Maeno scores the run to make it a 10-1 game. Townsend reaches second on the E1, and Kobayashi reaches first on the fielder's choice. And an RBI for Takumi on the play as Maeno scores. 10-1 our score. The batter, second baseman Drew Staley. Off the outside edge. Still nobody out in the inning as the first three guys have reached. Walk, single, and fielder's choice. Westerland delivers in the zone for the called strike one. 2-1 the count on Staley. Sacrifice, reaching on an air, and a single. The body of work with the bat for Drew today. Line hard in left field. That's a base hit. Green, the left fielder, comes in quickly and gets a strong throw to the plate. That'll hold Townsend at third base. Kobayashi at second. Drew Staley with the base hit. So the bases are once again juiced with Bruins as Logan Grant, the designated hitter, steps to the plate. And a visit from head coach Darian Hardy. There's nobody warming in the bullpens either. Oh, no, there we go. Kind of in the shade over there. And another call to the bullpen for Dakota State. It'll be the third pitcher of the game. As pitcher and catcher going over signals right now. We'll let you know who the pitcher as soon as we can confirm. All right, number 29, the new pitcher. Aiden Urbaum, the new pitcher. We saw Aiden for a little bit of work yesterday as well. He'll be the new pitcher, third of the game for Dakota State.
Now the bell for the Trojans, 29, Aiden Urbaum.
Aiden Urbaum, one of two Aidens on the Dakota State staff. Aiden Erbaum, now his 8th appearance on the season, all of them in relief, a total of 7 2/3 innings. He's allowed 3 hits, no earned runs, 4 walks against 8 strikeouts, so a perfect 0.00 earned run average for Aiden Erbaum, trying to hold the Bruins down in this bottom of the 6th inning. Coming on in relief of Cole Westerlin, who came into relief of starter Grant Svikulis. Bellevue 8 hits in this game, 10 runs on 8 hits. They've been helped by some errors by the Dakota State defenders. Here's Logan Grant with the bases loaded and nobody out.
Now batting, designated hitter, Logan Grant.
Erbaum will come set up near the face. Overhand breaking ball for a called strike 1. Swing and a miss as that one got in the kitchen of Logan Grant.
I'm good with that. Hit tanks, baby.
Erbaum from Ceresco, Nebraska, just west of Omaha, about 30, 35 miles.
He's been a good hitter.
Jammed, foul out of play. I think it's Highway 77 is where Ceresco is located. Bernie's of Ceresco, yes, famous furniture store in this area. About halfway between Omaha and Lincoln.
Coffee's always on.
No, that's the RV place. Up and in as we discuss local commercials here. 2-2 this count.
Omaha PD driving down U Street.
Erbaum comes set. Popped up. Everybody's looking up, and not so many people reacting as it goes out of play. Thought that was going to be on the infield, but the wind blew it straight back. Or helped blow it straight back. Logan Grant with 2 RBIs on the day, 1 in the 1st inning with a double, and 1 in the 5th inning on a fielder's choice. Inside, full count. Oh, excuse me, 2-2 the count.
Go to the Pizza Ranch and call it a day. That's what I say.
But when they come to Bellevue, they go to Canes. When teams come to Bellevue, they go to Canes.
And here comes the runner from third on the swing and the miss. Alert play by Drew Staley on the strikeout of Logan Grant. Staley will score the 11th run of the game for the Bruins on the pass ball. The other runners will also advance, so now Kobayashi is at third. Staley is at second, but alert base running there by C.J. Townsend to be aware of the situation on the strikeout and popping out of the glove. Here now, third baseman Nick Grade as Dakota State moves its infielders up. Breaking ball stays up high. Grade wants to try to get something to the outfield here. Bruins up by 10. It was a 1-0 Bellevue lead through the first 2 innings. The Bruins with a 4 spot in the 3rd started to break it open as that one's fouled out of play. And then another 4 spot in the 5th inning. 2 more here in the 6th. Trying to win the league championship with a little emphasis.
We need more Puerto Rican and Dominican guys, but that'd be fire.
Lined into right field. Macaluso going back and making a nice catch out in right field. Mason Macaluso, but good base running by Kanta Kobayashi, holding there at third. He will score the 12th run of the game. Nick Grade will get credit for a sacrifice fly, but another nice defensive play by the Trojans. Mason Macaluso.
9.
And the 5th spot, right fielder, Anthony Lind.
Anthony Lind steps to the plate for the Bruins. Anthony with a 2-run home run on his 2nd trip to the plate. He's 1 for 3. Had a good hack at that. Got a piece of the ball in the foul. 0-1 the count. Bruins just need to record 3 more outs, and they will be the 2023 North Star Athletic Association regular season champion, getting ready for the conference tournament next weekend. Fouled back, 0-2. If the Bruins do host the opening round of the NAIA National Tournament, we will have those broadcasts for you on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. That would begin on May 15th. I assume there will be local broadcasts for the league tournament up in Dickinson. Hit in the air to center field. Coming on is Walker Holtgren, still coming on, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. For the Bruins, 3 runs on 2 hits.
3 runs on 2 hits.
There were no errors, 1 error, and 1 man left on base as we head to the top of the 7th inning. It's the Bellevue Bruins 12 and the Dakota State Trojans 1. Take me out to the ball game, echoing through John Stella Field at Brown Park. Couple more texts in the queue. Let's go Bruins, 3 more huge outs. That's from the Locke family, listening up in Montana, the family of former Bellevue pitcher Eric Locke. And 1 more. Utah, thanks you for a great broadcast. Great job. Let's finish this up, Bruins. Utah guy Easton Brinton out of Murray, Utah, trying to finish this one off in the complete game victory. If he can do it, this will be the first complete game of the season for Easton Brinton. He'll be facing the bottom half of the Dakota State lineup in the 7th inning. It'll be first baseman Jace Pribble to lead it off. Pribble, then Burke, then Wenninger.
Leading off for Dakota State, first baseman Jace Pribble.
Pribble with his back foot on the back edge of the batter's box awaits the first pitch. First pitch swinging, fouls it out of play, first base side. Serwa gives it a look, but well out of play. Hit in the air to the right side. Anthony Lynn adjusts a couple of steps, now drifts over towards the line as the wind helps push it that way. He'll glove it for the first out of the inning. 2 outs remaining for the Trojans. As the batter is the shortstop, Chris Burke. 0 for 2 today.
Chris Burke.
Only 3 hits. One of them, the solo home run by Cade Wenninger. He's on deck. Called strike 1 on the first pitch to Chris Burke. Line hard and through the hole between third and short. So Chris Burke with the base hit, the 4th of the game for the Dakota State Trojan, keeps it going. And here's Wenninger, who had that solo home run. Chris Burke has a hit in 3 of the 4 games of this series. He'll get the lead at first. First pitch swinging is Wenninger. Both of his home runs on the year have come right here at John Stella Field at Brown Park, back-to-back days. Runner goes, fielder's indifference as the Bruins just let him go. The pitch called a strike on the outer half. Fielder's indifference on the play. Burke now at second.
I don't think I'm going to be too sad not to have Hawaii.
Left field side, will it stay in play? Jake Lacey settles underneath it, a couple of strides into foul territory. And now the Dakota State Trojans down to their final outs. The batter will be third baseman Dawson Portner. I don't think we've seen a single pinch hitter in this series from Dakota State. Looking back. Oh, Seth Allwing back in game number 2 came on for 1 pinch hit. But other than that, it's been the straight 9 in the starting lineup for Coach Darian Hardy and the Dakota State Trojans. Just off the inside corner there. 2-0 the count on the Trojan third baseman. He's been up twice and on twice, hit by pitch and got a base hit. Fouled back to the netting. Bruins came into today's game averaging 9.8 runs per game. They'll be a little bit over that mark today. The Trojans 6.9 runs per game. Again, a fielder's indifference as Burke trots over to third. 3-1 the count on Portner. And he'll draw the walk to keep the inning going. There'll be runners at first and third now, and the batter will be the second baseman, Hakeem Yatim. Yatim, a sacrifice his first time up, and then a fly out his second appearance. As again, Clouds making more of a presence felt. Runner on the move, right back. And Easton Britton will toss it over to first base. And ladies and gentlemen, the Bellevue Bruins are your 2003 North Star Athletic Association regular season champions. Our final score, the Bruins 12 and Dakota State 1. 12 runs on 9 hits, no errors for the Bruins. 1 run on 4 hits and 4 errors for the Trojans. With the victory, the Bruins take the conference championship. Another banner for the Bruins to hang down on campus.
The 2023 North Star Athletic Association regular season champions.
As PA announcer Simon Falcon makes it official over the public address system with the win, the Bellevue Bruins are now 41-8 on the season, 25-3 in conference play. The Dakota State Trojans are now 34-16 overall. They'll finish 24-4 in conference play in second place. Again, the North Star Athletic Association tournament will begin on Friday, May the 5th in Dickinson, North Dakota. You can follow the Bellevue BUBruins.com website for the tournament matchups. That'll be posted probably on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday.
It might be posted as soon as tomorrow.
Depending upon the final game that'll be played tomorrow in conference play. But the Bellevue team, the number 1 seed, the Dakota State squad, the number 2 seed, and a double elimination tournament. The tournament champion gets the automatic bid to the NAIA opening round. Bellevue is the number 5 team in the NAIA top 25 coaches poll. They'll be in the tournament. Whether they win the championship or not, they would qualify as an at-large bid. Again, follow along the rest of the season at the BUBruin.com website. If you want to relive any of the other games during the course of the season, you can go to the Fan Zone and click a couple of links to the archived games on demand and relive the excitement of the 2023 season for the Bellevue Bruins. Tournament action yet to come. North Star play, NAI play, and hopefully a trip to a Vista World Series in Lewiston down the road as well. Thanks once again to Bill Mullins for all of his help throughout the course of the season.
Actually throws 0 on the
If the Bruins host the opening round, we'll have those games for you right back on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network, so hopefully we're not finished for the season yet. Thanks to head coach Dwayne Monlex, athletic director Ed Lahotek, and all the people associated with Bellevue Baseball. And thanks to all of you for listening in today. The Bruins win the North Star Athletic Association Championship once again. With that, I'll be signing off for now. Hopefully be talking to you again in mid-May for the opening round. Mick Krupski saying enjoy the rest of your weekend as the Bruins celebrate out in right field. A happy bunch of Bellevue Bruins as they put another championship banner up in the Lozier Center Gym.